Measure for Measure is, for me, one of Shakespeare's most modern plays because it deals with a society not unlike ours, in which there's a lot of freedom and yet there's a lot of misuse of that freedom. And how do you actually control a society that's kind of spinning out of control in many different ways because there's been so much kind of personal liberty and perhaps taken too far? And how do you deal with that? And this very interesting comedy drama addresses that with some incredible characters from all walks of life. And I think it's a play that speaks to us now as strongly as any play of Shakespeare's. There are not a whole lot of musicals based on classic plays, and funny thing happened on the way to the Forum is totally based on a great comedy by Plautus, who actually Shakespeare used that writer as the basis of his Comedy of Errors. It is one of the funniest musicals ever written. It has an incredible, fast and zany plot, but it also marks the great entrance of Stephen Sondheim, up until that point had been a lyricist, as a composer for the musical theater. And so we know that not only is this a play based on a classic, but also the debut of a person who has become a classic in his own right and perfect for the Shakespeare Theatre Company. If you've never seen The Importance of Being Earnest, you have one of the richest comic experiences awaiting you. It is certainly one of the most brilliant comedies in the English language. And there is no better director than Keith Baxter, who has done two of the Wilde plays so far, The Ideal Husband and Lady Windermere's Fan, which were both clever and beautiful and rich with a sense of experience of the characters, to direct it. Henry IV Part 1, along with its partner, Part 2, is Shakespeare's incredible portrayal of an entire world, an entire society. But it focuses on both the growth of Prince Hal from a guy who's sowing his wild oats to somebody who begins to accept, which might have been odious to him, the responsibility towards leadership. And the fact that a young man has basically two fathers, a cold and distant and somewhat guilt-ridden Henry IV, his father, and a kind of down-and-out man larger than life, full of excess on every level, Falstaff. And these are his two fathers, and eventually he is forced to choose. But along the way, it's a terrific ride. Part 2, which is done, Henry IV Part 2, which is done much less frequently, is, if Part 1 is about the growth of these young people, Part 2 is really about the coming of age and decline into the older generation, and how that mirrors a kind of melancholy, a kind of richness of experience, a kind of the end of it, is almost Jacobean to me. And I've never gotten a chance to do the whole thing, and now I will. In any discussion of the great comedies in the English language, Private Lives is up there at the top. Often it's seen as a frivolous play, but it is, in addition to being the wittiest play that Noel Coward wrote, it is also strangely deep about relationships, about men and women. And I don't think there's any better director than Mariah Aitken, who is known as one of the great actors in Noel Coward, to direct it. And she has a wonderful cast, and I think I'm really looking forward to it.